Today on the table, we have a Colt Government Model from 1917. So we're going to go over just some kind of the features of these. So obviously they still make these. They started making them in 1911 or 1913 actually, and they continued to do so even now. You can look here and see on this Government Model, you can see the C for the beginning of the serial number. That's to show any ones that do have C's on them, those are government models, because eventually they stopped putting Government Model right above it. It is a 1911. You can see the 45 right there. This is a 5.03 inch barrel. It is not a Commander, 4-inch barrel model. It is all original. Has its original grips. It has the original rail or the slide that matches the frame, and I'll explain that here in a minute. It does have its original hammer and safety, everything on here. Oh, and even the barrel, we can look just safety check to make sure it isn't loaded. You can see that there. And it does have the original barrel still on it, and the bushing, and the mag, because some of those get replaced over the years. And when I'm looking for them, I always try to make sure that I can get all those with, I look for pistols that have those. It just helps hold the value. And I love the history. And you can see, too, it has this little lanyard loop on the bottom as well. You can see that there. So just kind of a quick peek at it. So a couple things that are fun about this, is with these original walnut grips that they have here, if you're looking for these older model government models, even the earlier other 1911s, like the M1911 or M1 1911s, you want to look for these double diamond grips, which are just expensive on their own, but you want to make sure how many rows of diamonds there are between each of the diamond points. So you can tell the difference based on how many rows there are, if they are Colt grips or Remington grips, or there's another brand too, if how many rows there are, again, in between these 2 points. So that is just a big thing to check. And now these grips, if you can find original ones, they're like $400 just for the grips. $350, $400 easily, just for finding a pair of these for an original, because they do make a lot of knockoffs. There's a lot of companies you'll see like on eBay that says they have OEM, grips. Well, it's usually just a knockoff. So just be careful of that. Now, when you are looking for these also as well, the frame, as you see here, it is, you can run on Colt's website through the database that this is a 1917. And if you are at your local gun store, if you see one online at auction that you want, and you run it, and you're like, oh, great, it is a 16 or a 17. Well, in 1918, you can see here this horse is here at the back. The Colt logo is here at the back of the slide. In 1918, they put it here in the middle. So if you're looking for one of this age or older, you want to make sure that you see the horse in the back, because what happens is that you may find one where the serial number is an early year, like a 16 or something like that, but then it might have a slide where the horse is here in the center. That slide was not original to that gun. Now, over the years, the finish may become the same, and it may look like, they wear evenly, but that is not the original slide to that pistol. It was parted out probably in World War I, and, so it is not a originally put together gun if that's what you're looking to collect. I like to try to find stuff is exactly as it was, even if it's worn, just like this is, that it's exactly the way it was back then. And it was all together, all of its parts were together the whole time. Those are the types of things I collect. But yeah, if you have any questions on it, it is super cool. I think it's super cool to look at. It's just fun. I mean, it's just fun holding a piece of history. Like, what did it do for the last 108 years, Was it in World War I? Was it used in World War II? There's so many things it could have been used for. And, just what has it done for the last, again, 108 years. But if you have any questions, or if you have one of these old government models or any old, A1s or anything like that, let me know in the comments. And I'll follow up with the answers.